Welcome to Flesh and Pod, a flesh and blood podcast, breaking down weekly news and notes from the tournament scene, community drama, game strategy, and more. And now, here are your hosts, Darick and Logan.
Hey,
Hello.
don't start.
Fuck off. I'm starting.
You love
God
doing this.
Damn
shit.
it. God. Hello, and welcome to episode 201 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Logan. I am your host. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. With me, as always, is Darick, and joining us, returning Chamber of Charcoal member, Michael Brown, a.k.a. Papa Jackal, as he's no longer able to sleep due to baby.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about this. Second time on the show, right?
Yeah.
This is the completion episode, because if there's one thing I know about the Jackal, it's half now, half upon completion.
Yeah, there it is, baby. There it is.
Well done. Good call. Good call.
He's already hot.
Yeah, he's starting hot.
Yeah, I like that.
So if you find me distracted looking over another screen while I record this, because the Cubs are playing, and well, priorities. But yes, This is episode 201. It's not 200. I don't have to pay attention. And so things to know about Mr. Brown over here. He is probably the oest of the OGs when it comes to the fappers.
Yeah, because I was looking at the show notes today, and I remembered seeing some of the stuff from way early on. I'm like, oh my God, I've had access to this document for like years.
You have, yeah. I've never changed it. Anybody that's ever been on the show that has been sent a show notes link has actual access to all of the show notes that this show's ever had. It is currently at, how many pages is this right now?
Like 276 or something because of overlap.
Yeah, some asinine number.
Yeah, it's 276.
Yeah, sure.
Insane.
It's just this monster living document of all things Flesh and Pod for the last 4 years. So,
oh man,
it's
wow.
It'll always be there, living and breathing until Google dies, which is when Google transforms into Skynet and kills us all.
Yeah,
By the
Google
way,
Net.
I welcome our robot overlords. Just want to put that out there.
I don't. I very routinely say, fuck you, Alexa.
I used to tell mine to shut the fuck up constantly, and then someone's like, you ever heard of Rocco's Basilisk? I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I think that you're fine saying that to Alexa. I don't think that you're fine saying that to a Roomba. I think a Roomba is far more likely to kill you. Mm-hmm. Like an Alexa,
I'll fight a Roomba in the parking lot.
Alexa's not going to get underfoot when you least expect it, but a Roomba
Can
get you. But any rate, episode 201. Darick, did you go to the 1K?
I don't know if we can describe what happened as me going. All right, so here's the thing. I was physically there.
Okay, well that's good. It's a start.
So first of all, my second half of my stuff that I ordered for the event is still, as of recording this, stuck in Ohio. So I have no idea when I'm going to get my pain in the backsides. Shout out to Ben for helping source the cards I was missing to play the deck that I at least wanted to play for the event. I had a massive headache when I woke up on Saturday. I seriously thought about skipping it. I was like, no, I owe this to myself to at least try, because like I just want to play the damn game. So I was like, I'm gonna take some pain meds. We're gonna try to push through it. Dude, my brain was not braining. Ben can share if he wants how out of it I was, but dude, I probably looked like a psychopath. I definitely felt like one. I made some massive play mistakes. I made like 5 that I counted just in game 1 alone, and I still made it significantly closer than it should have been, because I accidentally soul read my opponent through laziness. So game 1, I'm on Ira, playing against RKO, and I make one play mistake because they had played Shelter, and I look right at it. I was like, all right, I can't flick anything. And so then I'm trying to figure out what to do with my turn. I'm like, all right, well, if I have one more resource, then I can do this path instead. So I can just flick to get the resource from the vest. So then I flick, and it's like, he's like, okay, well, it does new damage. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. Like, I'm an idiot, right? Like, this is how it started.
I meant to do that shit.
Yeah, it was so bad. But then there's another turn where there's like a block with Scowling flesh bag or whatever. It's like literally turn 2, and so it was like an early use of it, but it was fine. It was a 50-50. Like if it hits the card that I was just going to end up arsenaling, it's fine. But if it hit I don't remember if it was in Amnesia or CNC or what, but it was another 2 for 6. If it hits the card I was going to arsenal, it's fine. I can still dual threat for like a ton of damage. And if it hits the Amnesia, I think I'm screwed. Turns out I forgot that like my boots can still make a like attack action card. Yeah. So like I still could have done the dual threat thing, but I didn't because like my head was killing me. I couldn't think. But then there was a turn where I'm attacking with Sensor as a combat chain closer. So this is the only reason the game was even close. And he had blocked earlier with a swing big. And before he blocked, in my head, I was like, when I attack with Sensor, if it hits, I'm going to name swing big. So then he blocked. And then I was like, all right, give me a second to think through this. So I looked through the discard pile to see if there's anything I haven't seen yet of note. And I'm thinking through it. And I'm like, I'm probably overthinking it. Fuck, like, I know that I just saw one. The likelihood of there being a second one's probably small. But I was like, whatever. I was all in on swing big before I saw it, so I'm just gonna say swing big. And that he had 2, and he was doing that to prevent. So I ended up getting him like down to 4. This still lost. Game 2, even though I started 0-1, I got paired up. It's into a Florian. I still played like dog shit. I was playing from behind for like the entire thing. I made at least 3 more play mistakes. My head was killing me, so I 0-2 dropped. I tried to stay around because like I also at the event. So first of all, shout out to Rick from Hoplite Games for putting on the Michigan GT this year. It looked by all accounts to be a very cool event because there was a lot more than just the Flesh and Blood event going on. There were several other card game tournaments, a lot of tabletop tournaments, a lot of D&D happening. It was a blast. So I'm very grateful that he threw it together. But like, there was also vendors there, and when I showed up, I remember saying to myself, like, I need to look for a couple of things. And dude, I just couldn't think straight. Like, I couldn't remember what I was even there to look for. But all is not lost because Rick gave me specifically a gem pack to open on the show.
Oh, good.
So again, shout out to Rick at
Let's see what you
Games.
get. Let's see what you get. Let's see if you get a shield.
So we're going to see
if it's Prism. Oh, no. Gentleman's agreement. If it's a Prism, you tear it in half live on air.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You have to.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's just a full art, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So we got a full art loot to hold.
Oh, that's actually really good.
I kind of want that.
Yeah, the good clean fight, and then a Eliath / Pleiades token thing. So yeah, good clean fight.
Good clean fight's good.
Yeah, can't be mad about that.
No, that's good.
So yeah, it was as good of a time as it could be.
At least you went. You went and physically played Flesh and Blood for the first time in like a year and change.
Yeah.
I will say this: if I did not have my tattoo appointment, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see the half. It's just the outside of the sleeve. I'm going to go back to the same guy to finish up the inside of the sleeve, but I got the entire outer arm. It was like an 8.5 hour session done Sunday, so that's why I did not go to the Pro Quest that they had on Sunday at the Michigan GT. But I did talk to the guy who did this tattoo does some incredible like black and gray realism work, and I was saying like, hey, here's some source images. When I go to do the inside here, what do you think about this? And he was like, that could be really cool. So right now the working concept, don't know if I'm going to do inner forearm or bicep. I'm kind of leaning toward forearm so it can be seen when I'm playing the game. But I'm thinking about doing like an Arachne face portrait that's mostly black and gray with just the mask being red.
That would be sick.
So he seemed pretty open to that. So that might be the next venture. But yeah, overall, I mean, good weekend. I wish I could have played more. I wish I could have enjoyed it more, but I forced myself to go.
You had a headache for the first time you went to play in 8,000 years. So I feel like if you had gone to that ProQuest, you probably would have like vomited blood. Like, it just sounds like going to play Flesh and Blood makes you physically ill.
It just is bad luck all around. Like, I either miss flights or, like, I lose my luggage, like in Barcelona. Or...
Well, it feels like the last time you played physical Flesh and Blood was Gen Con?
Yes.
Oh, misery. Oh,
so,
misery.
like, that's 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And before that, I think, was Prague.
Oh.
No, I'd played in person, like, once or twice in between there, but it wasn't any of the big events.
Yeah. Mike, did you end up doing anything? I mean, I know it's really hard for you where you're at.
Yeah, so I've played a little Talishar here and there. So I kind of have to, as a married man with a baby, I have to like store up my good boy credits to go do things. So like, I haven't done anything in person in a while. Also just been really busy. Like we were in Birmingham for a concert Thursday night. We saw A Lot Like Birds. And also Furnace Fest was happening there too, so it was just like a giant cluster. But anyway, next weekend, my locals actually managed to secure enough pre-release kits secondhand to do a Super Slam pre-release because our store got set up too late for the order cutoff initially.
Oh.
So we're kind of doing like our own pre-release event. And so I'm kind of waiting for that.
That's cool.
Because it's still like an hour and a half away, so I try not to be too far away for too long.
Sure. And that makes sense. For me, it was just I went to Armory, local Armory. There's a couple of my friends. So it turns out, if you need to know if the Learn to Play booths work, I can tell you they do for sure. Because these guys showed up at Gen Con to play minis games from Kansas City. And the game, like the event got canceled. And so one of the guys knew it was canceled and like had warned the other guy, hey, they're going to cancel this. And the other guy just didn't listen. He shows up to play the game and it's canceled. And so he's raging, looking for something to do, and walks up to the Flesh and Blood Learn to Play booth, sits down, does the Learn to Play, snap buys $3,000 worth of shit. And is now a Flesh and Blood player and like has the Kansas City another chunk of the Kansas City scene exists. Well, these are all the mini guys. So my buddy Josh is one of the original Muse on Minis guys. One of the like the War Machine podcast. Yeah. And so they're playing another game right now because he loves minis games. But the other guys got them into Flesh and Blood. Josh had played a little bit with me. And then Chad got into it. And then so Chad was like, hey, I'm going to show up to Armory and just try to learn a little bit. Because all he'd done is play Armory decks. And, okay, that's not... Well, it's a good start. It doesn't teach you a lot. So I played one round and then dropped. Just wanted to get my gem pack, wanted to get the number in there. And then dropped, and he dropped as well. So I could just sit there and just teach and, like, grind games and let him get a feel for it. He decided he likes cranking it. He just likes saying cranking it.
It's a fan favorite.
Man of the cloth right there. And so we took out a puffin deck and let him crank it. Let him crank the bird. Let him do all that for a while. I played... So I decided that I wanted to see what it was like to play an abortion. And so I took Bolton out of my buddy's bag, and by God, does that suck. I have never been sadder in my life. Well, that's the second saddest I've been playing Flesh and Blood. The first time was playing Prism. And this one, it was just like vomit. And it was so bad that I'm sitting there looking at the cards, and I'm just like, why aren't you Kasai? Like, why aren't you good? Why is this dog shit? And so my buddy, played, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you what a real warrior does. And I just played with my food because Kasai. And he was like, oh, well, that's how that works. I'm like, yeah, I would probably go see how my shotgun tastes if I lost to a puffin with Kasai, to be fair. Like, nah, not happening.
Fitting end.
Yep. It would have been. But we did great there, and then piloted Ira into him a few times because I had that built in with me. He was familiar with what Ira did, and so it was a good way to teach and be like, okay, you played the Edge of Autumn version. Here's Kadachi's and, like, uber value.deck and dual threats. Like, good luck. So one turn he was just like, I think I can just like take this turn off, or he's like, okay. Looks at his hand, he's like, all right, so I attack with a Kodachi, no blocks. Okay. Attack with, and make a tiger, attack with a tiger for 1, no blocks. I'm like, okay. Dual threat. Okay. Kodachi for 4, no blocks. I'm like, okay. Erase face for 9. He's like, no blocks.
Jeez.
I'm like, that's so weird. He had 4 items in hand. Just like the blowout to end all blowouts. It's like,
no.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That's a good reason why you didn't block any of that. And then getting erase face as a mechanologist is just like, well, my turn doesn't do anything. That's cool. Oof. And, sorry, Dansby just got bent in half.
Don't like that you did that.
Yep. That was a filthy pitch, though. And so, yeah, it was good to go out and play a little bit. I'm going to play in a Pro Quest on Saturday, so I need to actually play during the week a little bit. I'm gonna go play draft tomorrow. I'm gonna grind some games on Talishar. I haven't decided what I want to play yet. I'm still missing a couple of Blood Follows, one technically Blood Follows Blade for Kasai, but I'm missing 2 foils, so I mean it's not right if they're not foil, so but those should get here in time. If they don't, I can just play Syndra. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that was my week in Flesh and Blood. But there was a lot of other Flesh and Blood played. Holy shit, was there a ton of Flesh and Blood played?
Yeah.
It was a week, and we started off in calling Hamburg, which again, to remind people, is a big fucking deal. This is a TCG tournament for cash prizes in Germany. It's the first it hasn't happened in a long time. So this is, again, one of those watershed moments, and congratulations to everybody involved. The event capped. They had 500 and I think 500 some seats, and they sold them all. And so the event was so heavily attended that I believe they played the finals of the Battle Hardened at an LGS. They had to move the finals, but and that could be wrong. I'm not sure, but that's what it looked like, and I was like, "Damn, all right." But the calling was won by Arthur Trehay. If you don't know that name, you should. On Verdance, turns out Verdance isn't dead. Light Up the Leaves is a good card, and if you get to play 6 Burn Bears, you should probably play 6 Burn Bears. Why not?
Seems good.
Seems good. Top 8 was 2 of those Verdances, a Dash IO, and a Cilio, 2 Syndras, a Fang, and a Victor. So no gravy in Germany because...
I noticed that, and I'm like, yeah, it's because I see 2 Verdants and a Cilio there. I'm like, there it is.
And 2 Syndras.
That too.
It's all the things. The only thing that sneaks in again is that Victor. That Victor always fucks with our brains because how?
Dude.
What happened
Underdog.
here?
A total underdog.
If you can submarine climb with Victor and stay out of the gravy bracket and the Florian bracket, okay, that's probably pretty good. It's get to your first match, you go, I am conceding, and then you walk away, and then this my intent is to submarine this bitch. So, our buddy and patron of Flesh and Pod, Tim Sofsky was playing. He plays Prism, so fuck that guy. But also made day 2, so good job out of him.
He's a cop.
No, he's German.
Oh, okay.
He's got some. He maybe has some cop rage. I don't know, but Tim's a great dude. So, there was also a Living Legend Battle Harden, and we're gonna get to Living Legend for sure. It was won by Carl Naylor on Zen. Top 8 was Zen, 2 Briar, 3 chains. Too many chains. It's 1 too many chains.
It's supposed to be 2 chains.
It's supposed to be 2 chains.
2 chains.
And a Viscerai. I put that Bravo was yet again, or Starvo was yet again 9th. I'm going to confirm that. It might just be leftovers from the last time that I had notes for an LL event, because it seems like it's always Starvo in 9th. So let's take a look really quick here. And Hamburg, Battle Hardened, Standings after 7. 9th place was Chain. So no, it was not Starvo. Your closest Starvo, oddly enough, is... Holy shit. What the hell is this? Does Europe not play Starvo? Oh, was a drop at 3 wins, past 43rd. Or no, wait, sorry, there's one in 34th. My bad. So your top placing Starvo was in 34th. Neat. But big changes coming. We'll talk about those later. Next up, and this is for Charmer alone, Battle Hardened Sonoma. It's SonomaCon, put on by our good friend Joe Sapp. If you ever seen the large human being that is with James White at events all the time, that looks like the friendliest monster that could tear you in half if that was his decision-making process, that's Joe Sapp. And he is one of the best people you'll ever meet in your life. He puts on an event in Sonoma County, California called SonomaCon. This is one of those where I really wanted to cast this event. It just didn't work out. And if it would have worked out, Charmer would have been dead from priapism casting this event. So it's probably better that we didn't, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have survived the blood loss. It was won by our friend Majin Bey on Verdance. So Caleb Van Patten, known cheater, playing Verdance, managed to win. The top 8 was 3 Verdance, a Florian, a Syndra, a KO Armed and Dangerous, a Dorinthia, and in second place, piloted by Taylor Morrow, Arachne Huntsman.
Let's go.
Darick, would you like to talk about that?
I would like to talk about what an amazing, what an enormous feat this is, given the rest of this top 8. And I have to assume that the top 8 was reflective of the kind of event as a whole. So my biggest issue with Huntsman right now, and I've said it a few times on this podcast, but I just don't like the matchup into the Earth Heroes. I think Huntsman is better positioned than he probably has been since Heavy Hitters, but I think Heavy Hitters was the last time he was really in a good spot. And the only thing, in my opinion, that holds him back is Florian and Verdance, simply because a lot of your game plan with the contracts also turns on their ability faster, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where if you're on the fatigue game plan, it can be a little bit more difficult in that regard. But I'm so excited that this happened.
So I want to point this out. In his quarterfinals match, he beat a Verdance.
Yep.
In his semifinals match, he beat a Syndra. And then got tripped up by another Verdance. So
yeah. So does have the stuff that, does have the experience for those matchups. Now, I will say this. I think one of the big things that set Taylor Morrow's list apart is that it's not a true hard fatigue version. It can absolutely still adapt to that game plan, but the inclusion of Justin X, the inclusion of the Double Troubles, I'm trying to remember what else was in that. There was something else where when I saw it, I was like, okay, this has just a little bit more oomph. But again, the ability to fatigue was still there. You do still have a lot of the heavy contract stuff. There was still, I think Sigil of Solace was in the list, right? Which is obviously, defensive. You still had your, I think there was at least 8.
Zero for 4.
Sorry. There were sinks. There were shelters.
Sinks
there
and
were
shelters. I knew.
Hunter or hunted. Overcrowded. That's what I was thinking of. There's inclusion of the overcrowdeds, which is really good for the other codex matchups, obviously, but it's underrated, I think, as well, just in that if you're still trying to be defensive, you can still codex and put it in and save it for the ambush on the following turn, because yes, your ponder won't be there, but their frailty is still through their entire turn, so it's still like, you know, an ambush for block 3 on the following turn. So again, depending on what your game plan is, it at least gives you the option. So like overall, I felt like this was a very good list. Blanche, that was the other card.
Oh, he was playing Blanches.
Yep, Blanches
to fuck up Gravy Bones.
Yes, exactly. Really good for the Gravy Bones. Had Enlightened Strikes as well. Those are usually in the list anyway. Those are also really good at getting rid of some of the larger allies, right? Just
also being slightly wider on certain turns.
Yep, slightly wider, but again, like the weird thing is like making sure that you can get to that 7 damage, right? For some of the large allies is important. So Blanche gives you that. The Easter Egg with the +2 gives you that, etc. So I also liked that change as well. So yeah, I was happy to see it. I'm just shocked it did so well into what
that kind of
seemed
field
to be anyway an earth heavy field.
It was definitely an earth heavy field. And you know, hats off to fellow content creators for going and doing the thing. Technically, because of Majin's gig with LSS, that is a content creator finals, which we don't see very often. So, again, good job by everyone involved there, and congratulations to Joe on yet another successful SonomaCon. Hopefully, we do get to come and do a casting gig or something there at some point, or just be able to come hang out, because I would love to. Want to support a great human, and 2, the event looks like a blast. So, would love to do both. There's one more Battle Hardened on the weekend, because why not? This one was in Osaka, won by Justin Koo on Gravy Bones. Welcome back to the fold, Gravy Boy.
And beating Ascendra?
In the finals. Yep.
Spice,
that is
baby.
not the first time that's happened. But it is the first time it's happened post-Tipple.
It also feels really good to just see, if I'm being like super real with you.
Nah, fuck Gravy. And top 8 was 2 Gravies, Ascendra, Verdance, 2 Kasai's, people of culture. Akano, not a person of culture.
Correct.
And a Florian. So that, I think, is a little closer to expected. But there are some wide open spaces in the CC meta right now. But the fucked part is, you know, you hear about that, and there are a lot of people that, while there are wide open spaces in the meta, they're not excited to play it, and a lot of that is reflective in ProQuest Week 1 results, where Gravy had the most wins with 15, and then you had Syndra with 14, and Verdance with 11, and no other hero above 10. But Florian was at 9, so you know that's 20 for the Earth heroes. It seems like what I was always concerned about with the Gravy changes is kind of coming to fruition, which is by doing the Tipple ban, they made the deck a 1-path deck that is much easier for players to just pick up and play. And so now where it was Gravy's converted when the best players played it, it's now Gravy converts. And especially in these more local metas, because the deck is pretty well very close to the same set, 80 cards across the board now. There's not a lot of delineation. And you can just pick it up. The game plan is straightforward. You know what you're trying to do the entire time. It doesn't pivot. It doesn't try to angle into these other turns. It just does the thing over and over and over again. And that's now showing in ProQuest Week 1. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I think the big thing about Gravy is that, when you look at Prism's offensive output outside of her bullshit allies that were stupid and annoying, it had more, I want to say like a sexier counterplay, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm bringing in attacks that are not necessarily part of my game plan, but it's just for Prism. It's poppers. I mean, people are playing CNCs at the time, so it's like, okay, well, they already have poppers that are relevant and playable, but like you don't want to be spending your CNCs like that. So people are like, how do I flex? How do I bring in other things?
I'm turning the game off in case you wanted to know.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm also closing the tab out. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah. So the big thing for me is that like Prism had it was quite literally flashy, and with Gravy it's just like I just have to kill that thing. Oh, they played 2 more. Well, I should probably kill at least one of those and still put. I love the deck, but it has a problem of forcing attrition, and that's so warping in a game that never has dealt with that before, ever. And the intent was never really to be dealing with that, and now we do. So it's, and plus, like if you look at his path, like in round 8 to 10, it's like, okay, beats a Florian, beats the Mirror, beats Syndra, crazy. That is, I don't know. And I remember after the Tipple ban, people saying, oh, now it's gonna be a fatigue deck. I can't pull the deck list up. It's 404ing on me, so I don't know what he was playing. But like the fact that he beat the Mirror, I'm like thinking to myself, if someone told me blind it was a fatigue list, I would just believe him.
Yeah, because I think that's what it mostly is now.
Yeah, you have to, because you don't have the output. You don't have efficient attacks in Tipple. Your efficient attacks, quote unquote, are things like Swell, where it's like, yeah, that's efficient when you're not out of top deck manipulation.
Right.
But, once you are, which is effectively all Tipple was top deck manipulation and like resource generation. You cut those 2 pillars out of a typical turn cycle for Gravy, and all of a sudden, now it's like, I'm not trying to also put out big numbers. I'm just trying to get like 3 to 4 allies and critical mass the table, so that now you're always probably making a decision that you don't want to be making, and you're probably making the wrong one, and you don't know it, and I still get to play more of them. I'm not out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. And that is, I mean, part and parcel, right? Like, it's so difficult to think through a couple of pieces, and we kind of have a question on this later on in the show too. But Prism has 32 health. New Prism. You can blitz down that deck.
Right.
Gravy has 40. And while the deck isn't the best blocking deck in the world, it's still pretty good, especially now.
Well, yeah. I think the big thing too is like, is it possible that things are being gatekept to the degree where like other things are being shut out that would not necessarily prey on Gravy, but have many more points in the matchup than a lot of other things that are prevalent right now?
That's a good question.
I'm really not sure.
It's hard to say. Like, as Gravy gets more defensive, and it's going to turn into, I think, for a lot of these decks, especially like in a Syndra matchup, you ignore allies until there's specifically a Sawbones or a Chum, and then you have to kill them.
Right.
Otherwise, they're going to blank your turn.
Right. I mean,
and those are problems.
Chum does that as soon as he hits the table, regardless. Like, that's a lot of health for an ally. Like,
yes, but you can blank 2 turns potentially.
Right.
With a Chum and a Sawbones.
Yep. Absolutely. You turn that Chum to having 8 health, which is crazy. I don't know. It's really difficult, right? Because I feel like the problem is certain decks that would do better into it are probably decks that just wouldn't survive in a reasonable meta anyway. Like I like Claw's Brutes, like Mandible Claw Brutes. I really, really like them into Gravy, because it's like you kind of can just go pile up your allies, see if I give a shit, and then you hit a Blood Rush turn, and you're like, cool, my Claws just kill a couple of allies. My other attacks that are relevant smash you. Like,
yeah, they go upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Brutes are just horrendous and will never be designed right, and will die to any relevant meta, so whatever.
But tell me how you really feel.
I'm not mad, but I think that's really it, right? Is the problem with board state heroes in general, which is a dead horse at this point, is that like the game itself does not operate on that axis. So when they're not balanced, when they're imbalanced just a little bit too well, it will be juiced like to oblivion.
Okay, I sent you the Gravy list.
I see that.
Yeah, and so
Pull that up.
I love the Fiddler's Greens and playing Blood in the Water.
Yeah, you have to. Fiddlers is huge right now. It's crazy. Yeah, the ley lines too. Like Leyline just makes everything work really, really well.
Only one Loan Shark though.
Yeah, because like I looked at that card too, and number one, I was like, I hate the price tag on it. But number two, I was like, it's fine, but especially in matchups where you are going, he's not even playing Dominion. I think it's still okay though, because like he's got riches.
Yeah.
And then like looking through the rest of it real quick here, the echoes make sense.
Base of the mountain.
Yeah, I mean like, you've got Portside is making you gold. You've got 3 Sunken Treasure, which that card is insanely good. That's making you gold. You've just got, was that Fearless? Yeah, like Fearless is sweet because like Fearless is a really good way to shore up like your bad matchups. But you just got so many ways to just make gold that you're like not too stressed about it. It does block 3, which is pretty sweet, but it's just at the same time, you can definitely at this point, I think there's times where your matchups, you're just like, I have a bunch of gold and maybe I don't really feel like using them all right now.
Yeah, that's big and 2 big fucking dinks. In case anybody was wondering.
Yeah, it's insane how much Loan Shark is. It's like ridiculous. But like 3 Leyline, that's how I know like, yeah, this dude 3 Leyline and then having 2 Scuba in the list, I'm like, this was definitely built for as soon as even the inkling of having to last longer than a handful of turns comes up, it's like, yeah, I'm playing Scubas, I'm fatiguing. Like, it's just what's happening.
Yeah. And it seems like it's working out. It's interesting that they're playing that there's only 3 swells in the deck, just the blues.
I think that's the right
reds.
choice, honestly.
Yep.
I don't really like typical you played all 9 because you're like, it's effectively free. Why would I not do it?
Right.
But like the thing about swell is even at a red, it does something. Right. And then if it doesn't do something, you're just like, oh, it's a 1 for 3 go again. This is abysmal.
Well, sure. That doesn't feel great, but I get it.
But if it does go off, then it's just like, it's bonkers. But yeah, there's enough gold generation in here that I like 1 Loan Shark. I think it's really good. He's also really light on allies, which I think is like the right play because it's so easy to play a bunch of them that just suck.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them are fucking trash.
Yeah, but like Rig, I love him and Oisin. They're so good. It is unbelievable how good they are.
Oh, agreed. And I don't know. I feel like Gravy is going to still be the deck, right? Heading into Worlds and heading into that meta. It's still obviously a deck that matters in ProQuest season. And so, it becomes the question of if Gravy puts up a 115 this week, you get 4 weeks of the season. If he puts up 90 wins, does it need to come down a peg again?
But how do you do that? It's like at a point where it's like you do it and then he's just not played. And that's the issue is they're like really struggling to balance him to a point where he doesn't feel just plain unfair or even unfun. Right.
And it's like at some point in time, they came out and said Starvo was a mistake. Like full stop. That was not, those words were never minced. But this is a different type of mistake. This isn't a Starvo mistake. This is a did they do too much outside of the normal game mechanic with this hero? Because there's no upkeep to the allies. You just, once they're out, they're out. If they have a tap effect at instant speed, they get to use it, because you untap at the end. So you can attack and do a thing. Is it the question I want to know is, was Gravy Bones a step too far outside of the core concept of Flesh and Blood?
Yeah, because I mean, if you compare him to Starvo, like I remember playing that ProQuest season and just watching him almost lap Living Legend. He was like 1,586. So it's like, okay, that is a quick shotgun blast Whereas Gravy would have the same effect, but like you're getting spaghettified in a black hole. So it feels like ages and ages where you're just dealing with this nonsense. It's just unfun. It's like the Living Legend Chap 2 when a hero gets stuck like right at the end of LL and they just can't get across the line. But you're like, well, we still have to fucking deal with it. And people are still going to play it because it's relevant. But yeah, I mean, I love the hero to death, but they have to do something. And I think if they took a page from Shadow Heroes or just made a Shadow Necro and just blood deaded the allies or something, oh my god, it would do so much. It would be cool and it would not suck ass. So it's like two positives.
So Living Legend check time for points. Gravy Bones has 195, which effectively would be 390 if it was, if it was back in the day. Kano's at 910.
Please, go.
Our fucking nightmare is
Go.
almost over. We're so close to being rid of Kano. Fi and Bravo are still at 805 and 769 and have not had a Living Legend point added to them in, I don't know, since Obama was president. I don't fucking know. Florian is now in the 1X spot and is at 768. Everybody was worried about KO Armed and Dangerous being gone in this ProQuest season. 750. He'll be fine. I got roasted a little bit because I went on Table Pit, the Pit Against show, and the question was how many heroes LL in ProQuest season. I said none. Like I said, if there is one, it's Kano. Everybody's worried about KO going, and it's not KO. And I think that we're going to be in the Kano long international nightmare through worlds, sadly. But if anybody goes, it's Kano. It's not. It's not KO.
Wrong
K. Yeah, wrong K. But the round out here is Florian at 768, KO at 750, Prism at 710 now. And then you start getting into heroes that aren't going to be close. That's pretty good when you think through. You're probably looking at the exact meta for Worlds right now. It's not going to be changed much as far as CC goes. This looks fairly stable. The fact that if Gravy Bones did not have the 0.5x modifier, he would be above Reinar, Dash, and Bolton as of right now.
He has already beat Levia, which just makes me all sorts of conflicted.
Yeah. Okay. Like, sure. I think you have more LL points than Levia, right? Well, Levia's at 185. Do. But
yeah.
The ones that do not have any LL points are now KO Underhanded Cheat, Lyeth Goldmane, Vile Savant, Marlin Treasure Hunter, Pleiades Superstar, Puffin Hightail, Tough Nut, and Valda Seismic Impact are your 0 pointers. Did they go in 1582 was Starvo, by the way.
Okay. Yep.
I would like to point out that Arachne Huntsman still has less Living Legend points than Teklo Vossen Esteemed Magnet.
Yep.
So, and Max the Hype Nitro. So
insane.
Maybe we need to back up off a little bit with the Huntsman love, but maybe still good. Take it to some ProQuest people. Let me know your results. Matter of fact, please take it to ones I'm playing in. I'll be even happier.
I would love to.
Oh, I know you would, buddy. I know you would. And then we got a gift of sorts. We got an early banned and restricted announcement. So this is a Living Legend announcement only because the article states, and always read the article, folks. I know that we are here to TLDR the shit out of things for you, but don't D the R.
Don't T the L.
Yeah, that's it. Don't T the L. Yeah. Do the D. Nope. Do the R. Nope, that's bad too.
Let's
read the fucking article.
Yeah, let's just read.
So the reasoning was that basically to give enough prep time which leads me to believe that they're not foreseeing any CC changes, but they are keeping the ban window for November open ahead of Worlds. But my guess is the way the article kind of read, it's unlikely we'll see any changes in CC. But these are some pretty big Living Legend changes. First off, Warmonger's diplomacy is unrestricted. We're going back to 3 copies of Warmonger and Babes. And probably not too soon with all the Runeblade shit that's happening. You notice you go back up to the LL Battle Harden in Hamburg where you had 3 chains sitting in the top 8. There isn't enough to slow them down. But if you unrestrict Warmongers, then you have a problem with like your Zens and stuff and your Iras. But there's one way to keep that down, and that's by banning Zephyr Needle. Now, Darick thinks that Zephyr Needle did nothing wrong, and he's fucking incorrect. It is it is a backbreaking weapon when it comes to cards recently printed, and breaks the design philosophy of daggers in general. Daggers attack for 1. This does not.
As Jackal pointed out before we started recording, we all remember a time when people thought it was garbage. Yeah. I maintain Phoenix Flame is garbage right now. Could be broken if we printed, a bunch of extra stuff to support it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zephyr Needle was garbage. The thing, in my opinion, that pushed it over the top was not just dagger support in all of the ways to make it huge so you can't break it, but all of the retrieval stuff, right? Because the main thing with it originally was if you overcommitted and you could break it, then you could punish them for trying to be greedy with it. The cards printed after the fact just ruin any play pattern for punishing it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
It's part of their thing. They want them destroyed.
Yeah,
they're already on that bandwagon.
Yeah, snap this bitch in half.
I jokingly set my name when we were recording this to Zephyr Needle did nothing wrong because, in my opinion, the card was fine in a vacuum, right? But this, if anyone were to ever say like, how do you avoid power creep? How do you do, things in a game without increasing the complexity? Why do games have rotations? All of those things. I think this would be the perfect example to show somebody and explain that cards that are fine in a vacuum can become problematic. And this is also why Flesh and Blood is so unique in being a non-rotating game, because it's so hard to balance. Something that seems innocuous can become a format-breaking card just because you printed some, support for other heroes or whatever.
And in the single biggest fuck you that LSS has put out there since the Blackout Regicide promo, they restricted CYB.
Yeah, no more of this fucking card. Except you can play it, but you can't.
You can play one. You can play one.
Yeah,
we'll give you one.
You can count your blessings, but it'll be short.
You can count your blessing. Thank you very much.
Not plural. You get one blessing.
Hey, Logan.
It's binary blessings. It's 0 or 1. Those are your only choices.
Logan, 3 to 7.
I know. I saw the dinger that sent it to 3 to 7. That's when I shut the game off. I was just like, I'm not doing this. Yeah, I will start screaming and being angry, and it's not worth it to harm the show in the name of my fandom. Like that is not okay, and I will not stoop to that level.
Agreed.
If this was the World Series, different story. We'd be stupid.
Yeah, we wouldn't be recording right now.
No. If you are interested in Flesh and Blood merch, or Flesh and Pod merch, by the way, Flesh and Blood merch, go to events. Flesh and Pod merch, you go to gamergoblin.gg, and you will see that there is a Flesh and Pod collection where you can get hats and beanies and playmats and stuff like that. So if you're looking for swag to represent your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast, you can go to gamergoblin.gg and find our stuff there. It's really, really nice, honestly. And then rumor has it that there will be potentially some additional merch that'll be limited quantities that will be released on there sometime soon. So we'll have to see how that all works out. Well, Jackal, it's your spot, buddy. You could just talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bitch about Brute for 8 hours. I've already done it once. Instead, let's take a look at. Let's pull up TCG Player. So like, what the fuck is going on with Super Slam prices? Am I right?
They're bottomed.
Yeah, like hard, like extremely hard. And
Isn't
I'm
this
like,
what everyone wanted?
right, it is what everyone wanted, isn't it? But like at the same time, like I had a local the other day, upset that he'd pulled a Flick Knives after it had dropped. I'm like, dog, you still got one. Like you still own one. Like it's still a real thing you have. It's not fake. You pulled it out of a pack. It's like for real. So like, you know, what the hell? But at the same time, let's look at Command and Conquer. Hey, look at that. History pack listings are still about $70. This is what people complain about, and I just don't understand what a real solution is to get. I mean, obviously you can't please everybody, but like, what do we really realistically think could happen to make it so that generics, which are just game warping in their own right, what do we do to make them like not suck to pick up? You know what I mean? Because history pack is fucking whiteboarder. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the problem.
Right.
So this is the way that I would answer it. One, history packs are whiteboarder, so you get a bunch of people who don't want to open them. It also wasn't a draftable set, so there weren't a bunch of people opening it just for events. And yeah, again, there's a lot of great hits in it, right? But who's like excited to order a box of history pack right now? Nobody.
Yeah.
And so when you don't have that impacting the increase in stuff opened, right? It doesn't increase the amount of playables in circulation. Super Slam, on the other hand, was a new set. It's technically draftable. Again, I know it's not going to be at the like marquee events or whatever, but there's that. Also introduced some new talents and things. Also, people knew there were going to be the reprints coming, so there was a lot of potential speculation, and a bunch of it got opened. And then the market got flooded. So I think that it's a combination of that. I also think that there is, price memory. Command and Conquer in particular, and I would say to some degree Enlightened Strike as well. Unless that they get like printed into the ground, I have a hard time imagining that those two will ever come down too much. Like, I think the floor for CNCs without like a unreasonable overprinting is probably $50. Like I could see a world, in the future where like it drops to 50, but the price memory is just so ingrained. It's like 5 years worth of that always being expensive now, that people are, even if nobody's buying CNCs at $50, nobody's going to feel good about listing them at sub 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing. E-strikes. I think that their bottom is like 2025.
Yeah,
probably.
maybe closer to 25, definitely.
I mean, I could see a world where like they end up hitting 20 or whatever, but cards like Flick Knives or, Plow Under, they're so new that like, yeah, they were expensive, but the price memory isn't the same as, staples that are generics that are 5 years old. Right.
Right.
So I think that's part of it as well. I do also think that people, I've been saying, for a while, I put my tinfoil hat on for this every time I say it, but I keep saying that just because things are legendary or are majestic, it doesn't necessarily mean that the pull rates for those on the reprints are the same as standard legendaries for sets. Like,
yeah, that was the conversation on the CNC reprint, was like, you're not boned out of pulling the reprint.
Right. I kept saying, like, I think it'll probably end up being more plentiful. Everyone's like, oh, well, they made it a legendary, so what's the point? I'm like, yeah, but like, it's also probably still at around the same printing level as a majestic. Similarly, I always look at like, yes, when Dynasty came out and the Emperor was a legendary, the amount of Emperors that got pulled versus like when Shiana was the legendary hero, it felt like everybody got an Emperor.
Like people were pulling them like 2 out of boxes.
Like they were like, $20 a pop, release weekend practically, because the regular ones, it felt like everyone was pulling. And so, my tinfoil hat is that some of those cards, whether they're legendary or not, and I think this, potentially applies to cards like the Flick Knives and so forth, are just printed at a higher rate, right? So I laugh because I've seen a lot of people complain about Super Slam prices, but I just keep thinking, like, isn't that what you wanted? Right? Isn't this what everyone was calling for?
Yeah.
You can now get a Emperor Drakaev Acer for $2.73 in case you're wondering.
Dude, we got there. But like, so I look at something. I have creepers pulled up right now, and the cold foils for creepers are 75. And I remember when it was so easily double that. So like,
yeah,
there's certain things. It's like it's always just generics, and it's like you're saying, it's price memory, right? Like no one really wants. I feel like people, if it was to drop like on CNC, like say they dropped like $50, like you're saying, that's a total bank run for people. They're like, oh, I need to get out of this because it's never cratered like this, and that means that something's happening. So I just think like through, like the unwilling manifestations of people that participate in the secondhand market, like it's just never going to go down. And I think people don't seem to understand that, and that's something that everyone should kind of come to grips with. Is that like, I mean, you don't always have to play them either. Like I don't play them for gravy. Gravy don't need them. First off, I have big boat.
You boat?
Gravy just needs Tropal. So
right.
you know.
Yeah, that's true. Which is
yeah,
whatever.
you don't have to pay CNCs. You just have to drop $600 on one piece.
Yeah,
I know. What are those now? Like let's do it. What's the number?
Tropal Donnie.
Riches of Tropal Donnie.
Baby, that's $449.
It went down.
It did. It was what,
$650?
Yeah.
So you know what? Hey, listen, everybody. They're tanking. Get rid of them while you can and liquidate. They're obviously going to go way, way down.
That's what people keep saying about a lot of things. Let's look up Iowa really quick. Yep, 470. Fuck off. I mean,
dude, I remember pulling one out of a pack when it was like 200 something, and I was like elated. And if I had done that now, if I had come to some arcane and pulled it, I'd be like, oh my god.
I bought my Iowa for $80.
I hate you. I remember that. I hate you.
I opened 2.
Yeah,
so...
I double hate you.
I mean,
never. It was Logan never lets me have anything. I pull one. Oh, I pulled 2 of them.
Nah, I let you have plenty, dipshit. I mean, I've been on such a cold streak with like opening anything.
Yeah.
For it's years now. That it's just horrifying. I watch other people are just like, I ripped my 4th Marvel of the past like 2 weeks, and I'm like, the last Marvel I think that I opened out of a pack was a Marvel Young Olympia. And then before that was a Marvel Dracona Optimi.
So my last Marvel was an adult Zen.
That's a good one.
It was a good one. And my last, like, what I would consider to be a good pull from packs, not counting our special thing that we did with Heiner.
Sure.
So just would have been Prague when I got the blood splattered vest.
Oh, yep. Oh, well, okay. There was the super cheap case of Japanese Hunted that I got from MinMax. Shout out to Peter. Where there were 3 copies of Shelter in the case. And a EA blood splattered, an EA Kabuto, a quick dodge, and something else relevant.
Dude, I would have snapped those up. I just didn't have the money when they were selling those, and I wanted to pick one up so bad. Just a case of the Japanese Hunted.
Yeah, he's like, I can't sell it. I'll give it to you for a number I'm not going to say out loud on record. And I said, okay, great. And he hands it to me, and I rip it, and in the first 2 boxes, I have a set of Shelters.
Insane.
2 foil, 1 non.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I guess I own 6 Shelters now.
Yeah, like because it's high seas and because they're all the allies, I actually ended up pulling a few of the Marvel allies, but the biggest hit was like a week after release. I got a gym pack and pulled the extended art Givnook order in foil, and at the time that thing was pushing like $200. It's $42 now, and it's like, okay, kind of circling back, I'm like, you know what? I love this because if someone wants them, like I may in the future because it looks sick. The original, like the regular printing, is like $6. So it's like, okay, rock the regular ones. But this is kind of the perfect scenario like Charmer's talking about, where it's like, okay, if you want the super crazy fancy stuff, fine, it's still going to cost you, but like it's going to cost much less than stuff like this would have cost 2 years ago.
I guess I had forgot about high seas. I did end up playing a Marvel Chum, which I gave to Polish guy Rich because he deserves it.
He's
a Marvel, a Marvel Scuba, which I believe went to you.
No.
Or was it a Marvel Rigger that I sent to you? Because I sent you one of the Marvels.
You sent me, I think, Limpet.
Was it Limpet? Okay.
I think it was.
So it wasn't Scuba, it was Limpet. Because I think it was Limpet, Chum, and then later I pulled a Rigger. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they are. It felt like those came out of there like candy, though. Like they were just
they
all
really
the time. So it didn't feel like they were, especially unless it was if it was a majestic one, it felt much better. Mm-hmm. But generally speaking, they felt pretty light. So I don't
Agreed.
know. I guess let's do some listener questions. Get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
I'm in.
All right. We're going to start with Varric T. I'm not sure if you guys are still looking for charities, but I know a local homeless shelter in Casey is doing a drive for blankets and sheets. Yes, people need charities. We are going to be doing a 24-hour live stream for our 4th birthday, and we need places to send the money to. We want to know who is going to get the hard-earned dollars from the people that are going to donate and wind up in the first ever Flesh and Pod charity raffle, which is just so weird to say. But it's that raffle is going to be a lot of good stuff. We're going to have light and shadow boxes. We have boxes of Fab 1.0 sets, things that are just out of print, kind of harder to get. Arcane Rising, Crucible, things like that. We have custom, we have hand painted deck boxes that'll be going out.
Beautiful.
As well. And then just a lot of stuff that I've acquired over time. And then there's some other stuff people have contacted me about donating. Josh Scott reached out and said, hey, I'd like to donate New Zealand chocolate. Now, if you're not familiar with being on the Josh Scott chocolate list, this is a big fucking deal. Like, Whitaker's chocolate straight from New Zealand is untouchably fantastic.
Yeah, I've not heard of this. That sounds insane.
Yeah, it's incredible. And being on the chocolate list it feels like if people are like, would you rather be on like the list of plenary indulgences from the Catholic Church or the Josh Scott chocolate list? I'm taking the chocolate list every time. I'll pay for my sins later. But yeah, so yes, we are still looking for the names of charities that could benefit. And we'll be taking 4 of those for our 4th anniversary, for our 4th birthday, and making sure that we give them a nice little present ahead of the holidays. So please do provide us with different charities and different worthy causes, and we'll take a look and hope maybe pick the one you suggest. You never know. Next one is from Johnny Pastrami. Jesus fucking Christ, Johnny. Do you drink milk by the glass?
No.
I'm not 5. No.
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I do.
You don't take it straight from the tit.
I
See?
cannot dunk cookies in an udder, sir.
Incorrect. You just hold it up there and let it soak.
You can't dunk it.
That's not
but
a
you
dunk.
can soak it.
Yeah.
Soaking is
I
permitted.
am not Mormon. I am not a soaker.
I was gonna say, what is a dunk except a soak with motion?
It's got a good point. Oh shit.
I just don't drink
quickly.
milk. Milk's.
Oh.
I don't drink milk. I mean, if it wasn't made by a people, I don't drink it.
Made by people?
A single people. There has to be a
single
people that
people.
made it. Yeah.
Let's see. What do I enjoy milk with? Cereal, obviously.
I don't really eat cereal.
Cookies.
Me either.
And I
eat
know I'm
regular.
forgetting something.
I use if I'm making scrambled eggs, I use heavy cream. If I'm making
Brownies. So if I don't have ice cream in the house, right? You make fresh brownies and you put the ice cream on it.
Yep.
If I don't have that, then I will do milk with brownies as well.
Yeah, this dude is dessert coated, like hardcore.
Yeah, no, he's hardcore dessert coated. Like that is just Darick. That man loves a good dessert. He stopped eating things with faces, and
That's right.
he pivoted to dessert.
It's anything that I would want to hug.
Oh, that's right.
Because like turkeys have faces, but fuck turkeys. They're so dumb.
Yeah,
And
also,
they
like-
piss me off. so I don't feel bad about eating them.
That's fair. So you're like a conscientious objector until you are like, I no longer object. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
because I'm not
you know,
gonna call you a
it's
vegetarian.
mostly
but-
like the first thing that started it was really sentience more than anything, right? So like
so
if they
people
were
are
of
off the
a-
list.
Sadly.
no, it depends on the person because
You
there are
will
varying
enjoy
degrees
some
of
long
sentience.
pig.
Depending on So but yeah, like pigs are a good example, right? Like pigs are actually incredibly smart. So like I just stopped.
Yeah, if you wouldn't
eating
hug a
pork.
fucking pig, it would kill you.
No, I love pigs.
Like,
They're so cute.
are you talking about like
They're
pot belly pigs? Because those are not the same thing.
No, I mean like a big old hog. Like, yeah, they could kill me, but also
They're dicks.
Yeah, will kill you. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's will.
And then
a lot of
warthogs,
things that-
fuck, man. Like,
They're mean, dude.
But
Pigs
yeah,
are
it's
mean.
like, pigs, octopus was another one, right? Because like I normally love seafood, but then it was like I can't really do like, the cephalopods because they're basically smarter than us at this point.
no,
So
I mean, that bar's in hell, as you like to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of where it started. I mean the real, if we're being like really, the thing that kicked it off more than anything was the movie Okja. It's done by the same director that did like Parasite, and it's a great film. But there's a sequence at the end. So in that film, there's this thing. It's like a special animal. They call it a super pig. But there's this sequence that I don't know how else to describe it other than they kind of compare slaughtering pigs to the Holocaust.
I'll say I think it's an Auschwitz metaphor, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
And it fucked me up. Like just full stop. So that was what triggered, like I was vegetarian for over a year. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
was
rough.
I was struggling. That movie, I mean it's a really good movie, but it fucked me up. So
Man, I read The Jungle by Upton Sinclair and then wanted a hot dog immediately after. So you can't. I'm unfazed, man. Like,
yeah, but that's like there's a difference between like I don't want to eat this because it's gross versus like I don't want to eat this because it has feelings. Like that's,
I mean,
one is like what am I willing to do to debase myself, and the other is how much empathy can I suspend.
right, and
Fair.
I get that part.
But also, like, chorizo exists. Like,
right.
Come
Like,
on, fam.
It's already dead. So
Yeah.
I didn't kill it, although I have killed animals for food before. When you grow up in rural places, you definitely kill your own food sometimes.
Oh yeah, I've been hunting. I knew how to like clean my own fish from when I was 7.
Oh, yeah.
This is a conversation
Early.
I have with Sophie all the time because like I look at my kids and I keep thinking like, who the hell at a younger age, mind you, gave me a fillet knife and thought it was a good idea? When I look at my own kids, I'm like, no, stay away. No, thank you.
Like, kids these days are softer than the oven mitt sliding gloves that fucking base runners wear in baseball, which is
Oh,
still the
Jesus,
softest
dude.
look in all of sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
I
Love
don't
man,
know,
my
it's-
hands.
get some webbing in there.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, we don't need to be wearing no oven mitts when we slide into second base. What are we doing?
Nah, fam. Get them hands all up on there.
That's right. Because sometimes maybe you won't slide over a bag, Pete
Oh,
Crow
my
Armstrong.
God. Yeah, fucking fly through the air.
Yeah, that dude runs too fast.
Yeah.
Next question is from William Table and Legs Knuckles from Table Pit. Name a card I don't know. Yinty Yanty. Next.
I'll say
Got 'em.
savagery to match their numbers.
What's that?
It's a card you don't know, apparently.
I didn't hear what you said.
Savagery to match their numbers.
Pretty good.
Index.
Index. All right, high
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
Do you know what the funny thing about index is?
Uh-oh.
It's not index.
No,
Okay.
it's very
anyway,
much so.
yeah.
This is what I deal with.
I know it is. I watch it every week, and then it happens to me. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's what it feels like.
Last one is from Clark J. Why does Verdance have full health? Every other wizard starts below full health, and to boot, Verdant's thing is gaining life. I am also of the opinion that any hero that can play Stormstriders should not start at 40 health. It's just too much. Now, that being said, Verdance was not necessarily top tier right away or anything like that. Neither is Kano. But they are ultra frustrating. And when they have 40 health, it makes it all that much more frustrating when, and he's right, their thing is gaining life. Mm-hmm. So I do believe I'm on the train of, if you are a if you're a wizard, if you can play Stormstriders, you should not start at 40 health. But that being said, there is weaknesses within that class in general that make it, part of its difficulty. Part of it is, you don't necessarily, sometimes you have to give up the cards you need, especially with Plume gone. That makes it even more problematic. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that Verdant should have full health. I think it should be a 36 health hero.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I think it's less so that like her thing is gaining life, which is obviously impactful. But it's the fact that she has the Earth card pool.
Yeah.
And is a wizard. That's the big thing to me, is it's not that she's just also gaining life. That's the gross syrup on top of this horrible sundae we're served up every time a Verdance is put on the table. Is that like, okay, well, you're also gaining life, but you have amazing defensive capability as it is. So it's like, this is just kind of ridiculous anyway, because now you're going to burn bear me 6 times this game.
Right.
But also, I'm not hurting you.
Sucks. Right. Well, that's the other part is I'm dealing damage. It just isn't doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not denting the armor there, but there's plenty of times where I have a Verdance down to 2 and can't close it because they've gained 16 life.
Right.
And the uphill was too much. Mm-hmm. But that's, I mean, you could argue that, those are small sample size type of results. But on the same token, it's happened consistently enough that I've witnessed and been on the other, side of the table of that. Maybe not. Like, just maybe not.
Yeah, because shaving those 4 points of health off is the difference between like letting them tank a turn or not.
Yeah, it's one more attack.
Yeah,
like it's literally an attack action.
Right.
Darick, do you have an opinion on that?
I think she should have 20 health.
Wow.
I like where this man's
she does
going.
As a young one.
Well, let's Benjamin Button her ass and make her young again, and then that's all she can play.
She is young, still, and old, and adult at the same time. She is all the things. Do I actually need to get an Authority of Ataya? Because I don't want to.
No, you don't need to. How about this? If I get one, it's yours, and that's on record. And now I can't take it back.
And now you can't take it back. Okay,
correct.
Because I'm looking at some of these other lists, like these new Syndra lists, and it's just like they're playing fucking Authority of Ataya, and I'm like, I get it. Like, neutering defense reacts is real fucking good.
It feels very extra, though.
It's like they're also playing overcrowded because,
right.
I mean, you can just, it's better into Codex decks. Mm-hmm. But some of this shit, like Amulet of Echoes, just get them dead. Like, just make them dead. I like making them dead.
Dude, on that note, I love Poison the Well. I did not know about that card coming back into this game. And
you didn't know Poison the Well? That existed when you played the first time.
No, it didn't. I wasn't playing for Dustodon.
Is Poison D2D? Yeah, Poison is D2D. That's right. Snag is Crucible.
Oh, yeah, dude. Snag. I love Snag.
Everybody loves Snag, or at least they should.
Yeah, they should.
But yeah, looking at this, like one of the one that won Battle Hardened Shizuoka was also playing Base of the Mountain. What the Syndra was. Dude,
I'm telling you, that card, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is actually kind of cracked.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Like, it's not the best thing in the world, but it will definitely dig you out.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to look into. I'm gonna dig deep into this before I have a pro quest. But I think that's our show.
I think so too.
Wow. Well, what do you know? It's not 3 hours and 15 minutes of Josh Scott.
Hey.
But it has been an hour and 14 minutes of our good friend, Papa Jackal. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and supporting the show as per always. Which reminds me, we should probably thank some patrons. That's probably a good idea. So we have our associate producers, Andy, Sindra, Anthony, Ejor, Jacob, Aladoris, Fuck!
Man, this is going to get you every time.
Octothorptopus.
There we go.
Got it that time. Sofsky, Heiner, and Sleep Coma. Our executive producers on up. We have Blaze Storm, valued member of the Patreon, Diana, the Green Cosplayer, John, the Delusian Data Analyst, Vintox18, the Catastrophic Cod Banger, is our first Chamber of Charcoal member. Trevor, you need to get at me and get on the show. I've got a spot for you whenever you want it before episode 208. No calling 208. Matt, you're welcome back on. Mike, again, thank you, sir, so much for all the support. Brandon, you're welcome back on. Zaris, you need to get your first time on here. Get wet, buddy. And then the Hammer is on his way to getting on the show. El Dorte himself.
I'm very excited for that. Truthfully.
I can't wait for El Dorte. Like,
I
that's
agree.
going to be such a banger. And then our ceiling fan, the tippy top of the scale of FAP fandom, Polish guy Rich. Who will be doing his guest spot sometime soon as well. I believe it might even be as early as next week. Thank you all so much for your support. If you want to become a member of our Patreon, go to patreon.com/fleshandpod. Link is in the show notes. Some number of tiers, pick one, support the show. We will have a FAP After Dark, I believe next week is when I thought we could do it. It might be the week after. I have to go check again. But this one's going to be fun because it's going to be Darick and Greg trying to teach me how to use OBS because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Man, this is...
And it's going to be like teaching Grandpa how to use an iPhone. It's going to be so fucking terrible. And I can't wait because I want to do some fun things. I want to be able to just like do quick stuff and quick lives and things like that. And I had this idea that I want to do of doing shorts, and I think that'd be easier with OBS. I don't know. Either way, if you need to contact the show, you can send us an email at fleshandpod@gmail.com. You can find us on social media, Blue Sky. You just search Flesh and Pod. We still have an X account, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it today. Don't really use it a whole lot, but it's there. Darick, where can they find you?
In the Discord.
Join the
Blue
Discord.
Sky.
That link's in the show notes too, by the way.
Other places, I guess.
Okay, you went full Eeyore for a minute.
Yeah.
Papa Jackal, where can they find you?
I'm under construction. The name, the Jackal, the sleeper Jackal, is getting retired at some point in the near future.
What?
So I'm still working on it because I have a really good close friend who did my acacia strain tattoo I got a while back. She is a fantastic artist, and I'm going to be going under the name Battle Axe for things because I want to make like a real serious effort to make content. And I don't like my current name for content. And I like Battle Axe because I want to own a Battle Axe. So I was like, that's a good enough fucking name. That's fine. So I'm still working on it, but I'm getting some art made up. So right now, all my social presence is kind of under construction. I'm in the Discord, obviously. I like to hang out in there. I like to talk to the Hammer himself because a fellow brute Chad. So,
Oh, Dorte's a lot of things.
Yeah.
He is top tier human being, though. I do love that guy. He's
Yes.
very introspective, very hungry to learn. Like, he doesn't take anything for granted. It's just the type of person that you want to know. We do have a lot of those in our Discord, which is nice.
Very self-cultivating.
Oh, for sure. It definitely cultivates itself. And that
That's a way to
sometimes happens very aggressively, for sure.
Unfortunately.
But that's God. I can even think back to like the beginning, and it was like that where, it would just be somebody came in hot with something that was not going to fly. And next thing you know, they have left of their own accord.
Dude, especially early. It was such a Wild West early on.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's... Again, I think that you were one of the first people in the Discord ever, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I pushed for the Patreon.
You are the reason that there's a Patreon.
And I was like, I want to give you guys money.
You bullied us into having a Patreon.
I think at that point it was just the one like $10 tier or whatever.
We always did we had a 2, 5, and a 10 to start.
Yep.
And then somebody said that they wanted to do more, and so we created a 25. Mm-hmm. And then somebody was like, hey, you should do a tier for people to come on the show. So I created the 40, but nobody believed that was real until Matt Wynn from Sergeant Snipes himself decided. I believe he asked me in Minneapolis, is that for real? And I'm like, yeah, if anybody wants to give us $40 a month for 3 months, sure, I'll let him on the show. I don't give a fuck. And he's like, okay. And he did it. And then he came on the show. And I think that's where people went, oh, fuck, that's real?
Oh, we could
do that. And then
the
list grew. And I'm like, now I will say that the ceiling fans only existed for less than 24 hours before we had our first digital cuck. So
that's certainly a thing to call rich.
Well, he's exactly that. Yeah. Again, another stellar human being, though. But yeah, that's our show for this week. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening, and being generally supportive. But we'll be here next week for 202. It'll probably be a shit show because it always is. But yeah, we're approaching the 4th birthday, so that'll be fun.
Hype.
I mean, it's going to be something. I'm going to try to stay up for 24 hours and record and not say something out of pocket. You know that's impossible.
Yeah, you came close a couple times on this.
Yeah, I sure did.
That Cubs game is making you mad.
That's accurate. Very accurate.
It's not changed.
I know. All right, it's like in the 7th inning. But thank you all so much for everything, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.